Naxi says, Naxi, hi, A. First off, I hope you're doing well. I am. I've been following the news about what's happening in Mexico. Oh, yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. Thankfully, I've mentioned this before. Mexico map. So if you guys are aware of what happened last week, they caught a very big guy, or one of the biggest guys in narco culture or narco stuff. But he is on this side over here. So all of the western side of Mexico, your Baja California, Sonora, Sinaloa, Durango, Chihuahua, all of these areas right here. These are the dangerous areas right now. I live here, Coahuila, south part of Coahuila, so we're in the eastern side of Mexico. Thankfully, violence has not gotten to this place or to this part of Mexico, but yeah, things are tricky. Okay, so to get to my point, I love creating stylized characters, and my goal is to model for games like Valorant or Overwatch. I'd love to get your honest feedback on my latest projects. Let's take a look. Nice. Oh, yes, I think I remember your... Did you not submit a couple of months ago? Pretty sure I remember, because you did this one. This was a character that I was eyeing. It was one of the runner-ups for the hand-painted course that we did. We even talked to the arts and everything, but at the end we decided to go with the other one. You did a good job on this one. A good job. I think material-wise, if you're going to be using all the information, the normal map, glossiness, stuff like that. See this? Like roughness, it's the same roughness. So we don't have any variation in terms of roughness, and everything looks flat because of that. So you might want to play a little bit with roughness if you're going to be using all of the maps. If it's going to be purely hand-painted, which it doesn't look like you're doing because you're using normal map information right here, then you definitely want to play again a little bit more with the values. But that's a good character. Very fun concept, by the way. This is purely hand-painted. Like all on the albedo map. I think we're definitely losing a little bit of form on the colors on this particular one, on this misfortune. So the problem is, again, the saturations. We talked about this on a short not too long ago, but it's a good reminder, guys, here. So I don't want to do another short about this one because it's going to be the exact same thing that we've mentioned before. But if we take a look at the arm here, you're going to see that this value right here, look at the hue, it's on 15. And then we look at this one, it's at 13. And then we look at this one, it's at 21. So most of these values, if you take a little look at this guy right here, most of these values are very, very close. And that makes things look muddy. So the easiest thing to fix this is, again, just grab something like a red channel, grab like a soft round brush. And if we go to the core shadow of the element, and we set this to something like a linear dodge, or in this case, probably soft light with a low opacity, we can incorporate a little bit more color on the character, right? On the places where the light is hitting, we can incorporate a little bit more light, and that's gonna brighten up some of the colors and make her look a little bit more interesting. So it's a good way to just add a little bit of hue variation to the whole thing, okay? Very important to do that. And then similarly speaking, on like these metal bits right here, this is a very common thing that I see with like hand painted metals. I don't think we've done this before. So let me grab a... So if we have a light source, right now our light source is going in this direction right here. Why is my brush not working again? Oh, there you go. So if we go, like our light source right now is going in this direction right here. And we need to think about the curvature of this object following that direction. So the face that's mostly hitting that thing right here, that's the place where we're going to have the highest highlight. So one of the things that we can do is let's really exaggerate the highlight, and metals benefit quite a bit from having a lot of contrast. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have that very sharp highlight right there follow by a darker tone, not a gradient, right? I'm going to keep this tone a little bit more like this. Then all of this curvature right here, light is going away from the highlight. So we need to darken this thing. There's not going to be a lot of elements. There might be another position, like let's say right around here, where we get another highlight hit. And that's where we're going to incorporate that highlight hit right there, right? So something like this. But it's a nice balance that we need to have between where we have the highlights and where we have the shadows. I'm going to make this highlight a little bit bigger. So like that. And same for this one right here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So see how we have light, light, and then dark again. And yes, we can have maybe another light right here at the back, right? Like another bounce light or something. Then from this one, we start pushing this and we start really highlighting and really brightening it to really make it shine. See how much more like intensity we're getting by adding that like intense white highlight. very hot highlight right there. That's how we incorporate that like very nice metallic feel. Same thing over here on the core shadow right there, or not the core shadow, the core light right there. We're gonna add a little bit of that effect to really push the color into the next section. Okay, and that's gonna give us more of that like glossy effect. We don't see that. For instance, this kind of looks like a bronze element as well, so I might want to see a little bit of that like glossiness. Same stuff on this element right here. So this whole plane that's on the top part, maybe a little bit on this one right here, I would expect to see a little bit more highlight, right? To really push the contrast and the values. This is all material definition. It's all color theory. It's all about like understanding how this works. We talked about all of this on the hand painted course. And then again, if we want to like really make this thing shine, let's add a little bit of a hit right there. See that? Look at how much more interesting that whole like metal thing like looks, right? Like it looks very, very nice because we're getting that like nice highlight on the hat. So we're really making sure that this looks like it's actually made out of metal. We can, for instance, add like a little bit more like dark contrast here on the metal. So fun. I love hand painted stuff. Like I could literally do this all day. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly. It's similar to someone is mentioning their Marianne art as an anime stuff, like the anisotropic reflections. But it's more about like the direction of the light. Again, like if we have this hat right here, and this is my dark tone, I want to see this dark tone here on the back too, because we're not like really seeing the reflection of this like of this purple effect, right? Of this purple hat. So I want to see like the volume. It's very important that with values we portray or we show volume. Otherwise, well, we're losing the whole thing. For instance, here I'm gonna add a little bit of a highlight on the top of the hat, and it needs to match. The highlight on the top of the hat needs to match the highlight here on the hat as well. So if we have a little bit of a highlight on the metal right there, I would expect to see a similar highlight here on this area, right? Does that make sense? So hopefully you guys can see here the difference between this one and this one. So see how now there is a more obvious direction on where the light is coming from. That's what we want to see. We want to be able to tell what this thing, and this is super dirty. Like right now, I would need to spend like a good amount of time cleaning this thing up to make sure that everything blends nicely. But that's one of the things that you want to have on your element. You want to have a directionality and a showcase of where light is coming from. Okay. Now, this one right here, I love it because it's a lot more complete, right? It's a full character, so that's always good. But again, you're using two different techniques here, Ali Taha, which is you're using PBR and like hand-painted stuff. You need to pick which one you want to focus a little bit more on and add or incorporate a little bit more parts of the process. It's good. It's good. I just feel like some of the textures on this character, see that they look a little bit noisy, a little bit messy, and especially if you look at like Marvel Rivals nowadays, they are very specific about the style that they're going for. So be careful with that, okay? But it's good. Like I can definitely see where you're going with your style, and I like it. So keep going, keep doing that.